Practice is not to get better. It's to practice. Getting better is a byproduct of practice. That's what happens when we practice. That may be our motivation, but once we're there, we are there. What's happening? YouTube! It's your boy or man or whatever you want to call me. It's okay with me. You can call me Horton. Here's a who dat, we dat, and all that, still that, even after the loss to the Bucks. But you didn't come here for football talk. You came here for harmonica talk. But there's a lot of places you can go on the web for harmonica talk, and it can be overwhelming. So we're here to talk about that. In specific, we're here to talk about practice. There's this video. I'm going to put it up. As a matter of fact, here it is. Allie Jackson. That's Winton in the back testifying. Boom.
Not just informal practice now and then. It's calculated, deliberate, and consistent practice. There's no easy way around it. There's no shortcut. Your craft is owned day by day and year by year.
Decade by decade.
That's right. And it becomes habit, instinct, something you don't even think about. A thing that must be done for your day to feel complete. That's the practice we're talking about. World-renowned theoretical and experimental researcher K. Anders Ericsson cites 4 principles and progressive stages of practice in his study, The Role of Deliberate Practice in the Acquisition of Expert Performance. Number 1, passion for the subject of interest. Number 2, conscious effort in one's personal development. 3, your subject of interest becomes your way of life or your job. And last, you eclipse your educators and begin to contribute in your field.
All right, welcome back. So you saw that video. That's intense stuff. By the way, speaking of intense stuff, behind me is Joe Henderson from archive.org. This is fair use, so so YouTube, don't try to flag me. All right. Anyway, here we go. We're going to talk about practice. What did he say? Not casual practice. Not picking up the harmonica. Let's do that. Let's pick up the harmonica and playing anything I want. Ah, it's upside down. That's not what I wanted, but... That's unfocused practice. I don't even know what I'm going to do. My old guitar player, John Lisi, he used to say, I'd say, hey, John, you sounded great tonight. And he'd say, oh, Jay, thanks a lot, but I was just following my fingers. That's what we call muscle memory. Now, if we get good at our job, whatever that job may be, whether it's a harmonica player or a construction worker, what do they say? I could do it in my sleep, right? That's the idea. We want to get good at it, and we want to be able to do it in our sleep. But at the same time, we want to eventually wake up. And in order to wake up, we have to interrupt that process. We have to think about every little thing that we do from the most minute detail. Let's put Joe back on. Here we go. So today we're going to talk about not unfocused, informal practice. We're going to talk about deliberate and focused practice, the same way that Allie Jackson was talking about it. That video touched me when I first heard it, and I made a Patreon video on this subject, and today is going to actually be longer than the Patreon video. So, get some popcorn or some whatever it is that you like to eat, sit back, kick back, get relaxed, because we're just going to talk here. I'm going to play some harmonica, and I'm going to show you how imperfect I am and the types of voices that go on in my head that stop me from getting better. So earlier I just told you guys that there's a lot of stuff on YouTube. One of the things that they said in that video that Allie Jackson said when he was quoting that guy, I can't remember his name, were the 4 principles of whatever in your pursuit to excellence, right? The first one was a genuine passion for your subject of interest, right? So listen, if you have a passion for whatever it is that you're studying, you're going to make it through some uncomfortable periods. Because if we care about something, that means that we're willing to suffer a little bit. We're willing to be uncomfortable. We're willing to be angry even. We're willing to be humble. in order to get better. So we will go through uncomfortable periods, the same way somebody, not me, but somebody who's working out, I used to do it, though I know about it, but somebody who's working out will go through, they actually enjoy feeling the burn. They've learned to make that part of what makes them feel good. Like he said at the end of the video, he said, or in the middle, he said, where it becomes a part of your everyday thing. You don't even think about it. At the end of the day, when you're going to sleep, the day does not feel complete if it didn't include that practice. So 5 minutes of focused, deliberate practice, I have found over the years, is better than hours and hours and hours of playing. I've been skateboarding for 40 years, y'all. I don't put any skateboard videos because you don't come here for football. You don't come here for cigars. You don't come here for skateboarding. But there are parallels between all these things. I've been skateboarding for 30 years. But I'm not a professional skateboarder. Why? Hours. More important than hours are focused hours, focused minutes. I could learn a kickflip, right? And then I could become unsatisfied with just learning that kickflip and learn another trick. The result is I can't really do either one of them very well or with any style. So I may be able to do 100 different tricks, but I can't do them all consistently. And I don't look good when I'm doing them. Music is no different than anything else. Carpentry, culinary arts, whatever it is that's your profession, whether you're a doctor or a lawyer or an Uber driver, right? Which is a really hard job, okay? You know that there are finite things involved in this. And when we look into them, they represent something much bigger and something much larger, even a way of living. So whether we're studying music or carpentry or law or culinary arts, and we're doing it in a microscopic way, what we're really finding is examples of things of how to live. Now, translating it from that into real life is very difficult. So we're just going to focus on the harmonica. Here we go. I have a beautiful little A harmonica that didn't start off very beautiful. It never really worked quite right, and I kept working on it and working on it and working on it, and now it's pretty damn good. It's one of my favorite harmonicas. So I went through some pain with it. I went through some frustration with it. Now we have a deeper connection than ever before. We have earned it together. So behave, a harmonica with special 20 covered plates and a phenolic resin comb from Blue Moon. Little product placement right there. It doesn't matter if I think I know something well. There's always something different I can do with it. First, I want to commit it to muscle memory. I want to learn it so good that I cannot think about it. But in order to do that, I have to carefully consider what my next right move is. Take, for example, the pentatonic scale. We'll do the minor pentatonic scale. So there's my scale. So this video is not about the minor pentatonic scale. That's just an example of anything that I could be practicing. And if you're just tuning into this channel for the first time and you're wondering what this crazy guy with all the hair is talking about, well, there's 450 other videos that talk just about how to do something, all right? But now we're talking about how to do something, how to practice, how to think, how to be present in the here and the now, not following our fingers or our lips or our tongue or whatever we do as harmonica players. One more time. Here's the scale. So first thing I want to do is commit that to muscle memory. Maybe then start on another note that's in the scale, a little lower, a little higher. Okay, cool. Can I start from another note? Go octave to octave. Now I can because I've practiced these things, okay? But so let's give me, right now, something that I haven't practiced. So each scale, we're going to call each scale interval a number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because there's 5 notes. Now, this is not the Nashville numbering system, okay, because that would be 1, minor third, 4, 5, flat 7, 8. We're not going to do that. We're just going to call each note its own number. I could call it orange, pear, raspberry, blueberry, banana. But we'll call them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a little easier to remember. All right. So now what I want to do is take those out of order. So even though I've learned them in muscle memory and I can fly up and down, hopefully. Down. Down. How did I get to do that? Slow, playing it slow, going like this. What's the next note? Oh, yeah. And then what's the next one? Not trying it, thinking about it. That's what you're going to get to see me do. Now, what you're also going to get to see me do is fight. Why am I going to fight, right? Because I have an ego. Because I'm human. Because I lust for result. I want to be done. I want to say that I can do it. I want to look good. I want to sound good. I want to get a gig. I want to justify this purchase of an amp. I want to show Jason that I can do it. I want to start my own YouTube channel and teach harmonica. I want to be famous. I want to be big and famous. I just want to make myself happy. I just want to have fun. All of those are motives, right? They're a good reason to sit down to practice, but they're not the reason to practice. The reason to practice is to be practicing, not to be good. If you want to be good, you need to practice. So you put that time in. Some days go better than others. Some scales are easier than others. Some positions come easier for certain people. Some people tongue blocking is easy. Some people lip pursing is easy. Some people traditional blues is easy. Some people harmony is easy. Some people rhythm's easy. Everybody has different things that they excel at. Same in life. Some people are physically good at football, at sports, while other people have a good reading comprehension. We're all different. We all get to work on our areas that need to be worked on, because that's all we can do. So that's what I'm going to do. So each scale tone is a number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the top note's an octave. So we're not really counting that, but 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right. Now again, not the Nashville numbering system. So now I'm going to interrupt that order. Now, I've done this in previous videos, like 2, 1, 3, 2, 4, 3, 5, 4. The problem is I already know that, even if it's sloppy. So even though I know it, it wasn't that fast. Ah! See how I did that? So I went slow and I sped up. Now here's the problem area right there for me, overblow. So what could I do? Take the area that is giving me problems and focus on that. Rather than screwing it up every time or flubbing it up every time just to sound good and try to get to the end in a really sloppy way. Rather than do that, focus on the area that's giving me a problem. That's what I'm going to do, right? So that's a scale I know. And you can see I still needed to practice that. I still needed to speed it up. I still needed to get it better. Let's take one I don't know and watch what happens.
Watch. I guarantee you some ego's gonna come in. I guarantee you some voices are gonna come in. You're not good enough. You need to be good enough. You should be better. You're trying to demonstrate this on YouTube. You should be doing a better job. You should know this. How come we can't get this? Nobody's gonna care. The video is too long. Nobody's gonna watch.
That's all the language in my head. It's been in my head since I started. The difference is now I notice it. And I go, that's garbage. Let it go. Not today, Satan. Right? Go. What needs to happen? The next note. What is the next note? I don't know. Okay, let's think about it. Let's try to find it instead of playing it. Let's try to think about what the next note is and cement it in my brain that way so that 30 years from now I still know. It might take 30 seconds longer, but I will know. I will know. So let's do that. 5-note scale. Let's go down the scale. I'm just making this up as I go along randomly. Down the scale, 3 notes, and then up 2. Okay, so, but up 2 from what? Okay, up 2 from the second one down. So, okay, now I need to go to the next scale tone, because so I started on 1, and then I went down, and then up 2. So now I'm going to go to the next scale. Okay. I gotta think. Okay, so can I do the same thing going down? So how would I do that? Oh, I would have to go up and then up 3 and then down 2. No. Slow down. Think. I gotta start over. I just did that one, so one below that. What was going on for me? Okay, so I'm doing it in front of you. So the first thing I'm thinking is this boring for them? And then I'm thinking, are you guys thinking that I'm faking not knowing what to do on purpose? And I wasn't. I didn't know how that should look on the way down. Like I couldn't remember. Like, what note did I start on? What note did I stop on? Right? So all this stuff was going on in my head. So when you're practicing, you might be thinking things like that too. Like, what do they think? What does she think? Is somebody around me think? Can they hear this? Or you might be thinking to yourself, this is hard. I don't want to do this. I want to stop. This is the reason that we do focused, deliberate practice for short periods of time. We need to make the bar shake. What you just watched was me lifting weights that were heavy for me, and the bar was shaking. I came to the gym today for that bar to shake. It doesn't matter the weights that's on the bar. It doesn't matter whether it's Charlie Parker, Omnibook, background, or Joe Henderson. It doesn't matter, right? Like, I can't do that. But what matters is that I came for a workout. That at the end of the day, I put in that work. Okay, that's what matters. Now, I promise you that if I put in another 5 minutes of that, okay. How's it go again? 3 down and then 1 up from the one below the one I said. I wonder what that would sound like fast, just checking it out. Let's just go slow. Sounds pretty cool. How's it going down is hard for me. So you're going. Oh yeah, down, up 3, then down 2 from the other note. No. Slow down. Okay. Another thing. Okay, here we go. Negative self-talk. I'm no good. I'm never going to get this. I hate this. I'm terrible. Remember I always tell you about my guy Lee Mack, the cigar reviewer? What's he say? Today's going to be another great day. Why? He says, I wake up in the morning every day. For 15 years, he's been waking up in the morning every day, and he says to himself, Lee Mack 912, this is going to be another great day. Why? Because the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between a truth and a lie, so you might as well tell it something good. You might as well tell it something nice. Well, guess what? When we say you suck, you're terrible, you're never going to get this, you're lousy, you're never going to be as good as Jason, you're never going to be as good as Howard Levy, you're not even as good as you were yesterday, this is pointless, you need to quit, maybe find something else. That is bad for you. You will believe that. Your mind will start to do that. Now, we're going to do it. We can't stop that from happening. But what we can do is we can notice when it comes in. We can notice it coming in. And we can say, no. Nope, I'm going to tell it something else. I can do this. Even, I'm going to try again later, right? Let me give it 2 more times. This uncomfortable process that I'm in right now is natural. I am human. It is natural for me to be angry. But don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up if you start beating yourself up. In other words, don't beat yourself up for beating yourself up. Jason, don't beat yourself up for beating yourself up. You can do this. This is possible. Slow and steady. The slowest way is the fastest. Again. Slow. Focus each note. Every time you pick the right note and think about it, it is better than you getting it right by accident. Learning it the hard way will be the way that I cement this into my head. Trying to get it right for YouTube so that I look good is not helping me. As a matter of fact, it would hurt me if I got that right away by accident. That would be infinitely worse than me suffering the pain that I'm going through in front of you. One more time. So you go up 3, and then you go down 2. That's up 3, and here's down 2. Now I got to do that on every figure and not get lost. I have to remember the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that I can know which each tone to start on. I'm just talking to myself. Just in this particular exercise, it could be any exercise. It could be arpeggio. It could be a song. It could be anything. I'm at a harp. I think that was correct. What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you? So we got to focus on the problem area. So it's right here. And I can't go below. There we go. Yeah, that's it. I run out of harp. See how I just tried to do it quick and messed up the part I know? That's what happens. You guys seen the movie The Goonies? So it's about these kids, and they find a treasure map. That's what we're after. We're after treasure, right? We're after riches, right? But not material riches. But this happened to be a literal treasure. And that's what they were after. They wanted, let's put Joe back on. So they find this treasure map, and they decide, this little crew of misfit kids, this ragtag group of kids from wherever they were, Washington State, Oregon, wherever, they're going to go out into this cave system and find this pirate's treasure, right? But this other family finds out that these kids know where the treasure is, and they're like a criminal family, so they're just gonna follow the kids, and then when the kids find the treasure, and the kids gotta go through all these booby traps and trials, and the family's just gonna tag along behind them, and when they get to them, right, they're gonna get the treasure. Okay, so the kids they go through all this stuff, and they get to this one booby trap, and this is good. That booby trap happens to be a musical instrument. Now it's a piano that's made out of human bones.
What is that? Disgusting.
You? Wow.
Ollie. That's atrocious, you guys.
Help him, hurry up! What are you doing? Stop playing around!
To move on, play the tune as each note is said. You make too many mistakes. Y will surely be muerto.
What is that? Come on.
Dead.
I mean, we gotta play the bones to get out of here.
Exactly.
Were they out there?
What?
Hurry up.
You guys, look! There are notes on this! Andy, you took piano lessons. I was 4 years old. Why would you be 17? Hit it! I'm trying to find middle C. This is nothing like my mother's Steinway. Do something, Holly! Okay, the first chord, I think, is chord Eddie.
My God, it's working! It's working, you did it! Way to go, Andy, way to go!
I'm coming back in now. C sharp D. Remember those lessons and play it right, please. They come, guys! They're down there! They're coming out! It's a fully pissed off! What were you thinking? I hit the wrong note! Another direction, you know!
You're doing fine, you're doing fine.
Baby, I believe in you. Goonies always make mistakes.
Goonies always make mistakes. That's what we are. We're Goonies. We always make mistakes. It's okay.
Don't know anymore. Come on. Sorry. Where was I? A flat play. Hey, the guy! The guy! They're not here! I get one. It's A sharp, or if it's a B flat. If you get the one note, it won't be flat.
Give me the guidance here! What? What are you doing?
We need to treat every bit of practice like we're the Goonies. We don't need to get it right. That's not the point. We need to wait and get it right, not immediately play it perfect, right? We might make mistakes, but the worst thing that can happen is we play it perfect and not understand, right? We need to act like the floor is gonna fall out if we can't hit it right. So when you see me, these long pauses that are making me self-conscious here on YouTube, these long pauses, and then I'm sitting there thinking, what's the next note down? Ah! All right, so you get the idea. That's what I need to do, and I need to speed it up to the point where I'm not thinking about it. But in order to get it there, I have to think about it really a lot. Like Goonies a lot. Like pause and stop. So that I know I'm going to play it right. I go into it confident. Right? Because the better I know what note I'm going to go to next, the more time I have to think about how am I going to play it. If I have carefully considered the order, every imaginable order that things can go into, if I hear it in my head and I decide I want to do it, not only do I know where it is, but I can make a decision. Am I going to play it with double stops? Or am I going to play it tongue blocking? Or am I going to play it lip pursing with staccato? Right? Or am I going to play long notes with vibrato? No, wait. Focused in deliberate practice. It gives me options. It gives me stuff to think about. Remember the Goonies. Remember to slow down. Remember to not beat up on yourself. Let's put on Joe. We're going to hang out today.
And it's not just informal practice now and then. It's calculated, deliberate, and consistent practice.
Calculated.
There's no easy way around it. There's no shortcut. Your craft is owned day by day.
Slow.
And year by year.
Decade by decade.
That's right.
Minute by minute.
And it becomes habit, instinct, something you don't even think about.
Muscle memory.
A thing that must be done for your day to
Have to
feel
do it.
complete.
It's what you do.
That's the practice we're talking about.
It's what you do.
World-renowned theoretical and experimental researcher K. Anders Ericsson cites 4 principles and progressive stages
Probably
of
not
practice
even a
in his
musician.
study, The Role
I don't
of
know.
Deliberate
Maybe he
Practice
is.
in the Acquisition of Expert Performance. Number 1, passion for the subject of interest.
Gotta love it.
Number 2, conscious effort in one's personal development.
Everything.
3, your subject of interest becomes your way of life or your job.
Even if it's just
And
a
last,
hobby
you eclipse
that you
your
do every
educators
day.
and begin to contribute in your field.
Might happen, might not. All right. Look, that's it. That is it. One of the areas of my life that has been a huge thing is addiction. Okay? And I can see a metaphor in addiction for many, many, many things, right? Now, for me, it was drugs, okay? But for other people, it's other things. It could be money. It could be people. It could be music. It could be something like that, right? It's this idea that something outside of myself is going to bring me happiness. That I need something. I need the money. I need the drugs. I need the person. I need the love. I need the sex. I need whatever it is, right? Those are the ideas, right? We all, to some degree, suffer with this kind of stuff or struggle with it even, or even worse, don't even know that we're in the midst of it all the time, and we wonder why we don't feel happy, why we feel that something is missing. What we need to do is sit quietly. This is like meditation. I sit down to practice and I'm working. And then all of a sudden I get distracted. Distracted by me. Distracted by, ooh, that sounded good. And next thing you know, I start playing. And it doesn't matter if it sounds good. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it sounds bad. I'm not doing anything. I'm basically masturbating, all right? It's like I'm on a treadmill, all right? I'm not getting fat, but I'm not really getting better either, right? I'm staying the same. I'm working off with a 45-minute treadmill. I'm working off one Snickers bar, All right? Still better than nothing, but not the same as getting on a bench press and working out. Not the same as changing your diet, right? What did he say? A personal change, right? Everything needs to change. Now, I'm not saying that everything needs to change for you to practice, but what you do need to do is change the way you practice. All right? And you're going to make mistakes. You're going to get carried away. And when you do, so you're trying to play. And so you start off doing that, and then all of a sudden you find yourself going. And what you need to do is catch it and stop and say, okay, that was fun. I love harmonica. Harmonica should be fun. But I've decided today that I'm going to put 5, 10, 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes in. 30 minutes of deliberate, focused, calculated practice. Calculated. What's the next right note? Can I do this at a slower tempo? Can I do this at a faster tempo? Can I do this backwards? Can I do this with vibrato? Can I do it tongue blocking? How many different ways can I do this? Can I take it out of order? 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 3, 3, 1, 2. How many different permutations of this? How natural can I make this? How unnatural can I make this so that anything that I want to do becomes more natural? But the key is to catch yourself. When you start, it's going good. And then you start to get pleased with yourself. And you start making up stuff. Now you might go 5 minutes, you might go 10 minutes, you might go 15 minutes, but then you catch yourself and you go, oh yeah, I was supposed to be practicing. It's just like meditation. We sit down to breathe, to not seek, to not look for comfort from food, comfort from love, comfort from sex, comfort from drugs, comfort from watching Jason Ricci's harmonica video, from harmonica, from TV, from cars, from money, from one of my favorite cigars, which is kind of a form of meditation if you do it right. But let's not talk about that. What we do is we sit, right? The act of meditation is not to meditate, it's to sit. It's the process. It's to practice. Getting better is a byproduct of practice. That's what happens when we practice. That may be our motivation, but once we're there, we are there. We try to be there. So I might sit down to practice, to meditate, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, okay, my object of sitting here is to clear my mind of all my thoughts, okay? And I'm going to do this by concentrating on my breath. Breathe in through my nose, count 1 to 3. Breathe out through my mouth, count 1 to 3. And then I think, am I counting? And then I think, you know what, my knees hurt. And then I think, hey, I wonder if I could get a rug, if that would make my knees hurt less. And then I think, I wonder if Walmart has a rug for cheap. And then I think, I wonder, wait, I shouldn't support Walmart because they're a bad company and they do bad things to people. And then I think, well, wait, who does have a rug? Is there a local place that has a rug? And then I kind of like, oh, wait, I'm supposed to be breathing. 1, 2, 3. Is it bad? Is it bad that I went on that? I was supposed to be clearing my mind of thoughts, right? No, I'm practicing. I'm practicing. What I am doing, the good part is that I caught it. It doesn't matter how long it went. That's amusement. It's amusement. It's amusing to me that I didn't get it. We have to laugh at ourselves. Laugh at this. When we come in and we find ourselves wandering, say, oh, that's 5 minutes of wandering that wasn't practice. So I'm gonna pretend that didn't happen, and later I'll do that, and it'll be fun later when I don't have to be so mindful of every little thing and I can have fun. That's playing. That's playing. That's practice is different than playing. We're here to practice. I'm here today to talk to you about practice. You may be very overwhelmed at YouTube. There's a million videos. By the way, look at this incredible green light. This is a microcosmic study of the macrocosm. It might be that I'm sitting here examining the minor pentatonic scale, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 4, blah, blah, right? It could be that that's what I'm focusing on, but that's not what really is happening. What's really happening is I'm testing my concentration. I'm cementing into my head not only the lick, not only the movement, not only the scale intervals, but the idea that the slowest way is the fastest, that when I calm down, that's when I get it. So it's okay to have these thoughts. It's okay to be all the way to Walmart and buying the rug that we know is bad for us before we realize that we need to concentrate on our breath. The idea is that we concentrate on our breath. That is meditation. It is the act of sitting. I've heard a lot of Buddhist monks, and I'm not Buddhist, I'm Christian, but that doesn't matter. It's neither here nor there, and I don't care what you are, by the way, whether you're an atheist, a Muslim, or Jewish, or a Satanist, or whatever it is. I don't judge you. I wish you well in your journey. We're all going to find the same stuff. And it doesn't matter, again, whether it's carpentry or culinary arts, whether it's football, ice hockey, or poetry, whether it's reading or writing or photography, guitar, harmonica, saxophone. It's all the same stuff. It is the acquisition of excellence. It is the pursuit of that, right? The pursuit is more important. You've heard it a million times. It's not the destination, it's the journey. These are all cute and nice things to say, but they're hard to live by. These are principles that we have to constantly remember. Every single day we have to talk to ourselves and tell us these same things. Because the mind, call it whatever you want. You can call it the mind. You can call it what the Buddhists call it, samsara, right? Or the Christians call it the flesh, right? Or I don't know what the other people call it, right? Or you Christians might even call it the devil, right? I like that one. I can blame it on the devil, right? I like that. The devil said, Jay, you're no good. Give up. You're never going to get this. You're not smart enough. You're not cool enough, right? Somebody wrote that on the last YouTube comment underneath here. Somebody wrote something like, I'll never be as cool as you or whatever. And I said, don't you ever talk to yourself that way. And I wanted to say, don't you beat up on my friend like that. But I thought that he would think, you know what? That guy's not my friend. Why is he saying that to me, right? I am your friend because I know what that talk is like. And I know I have that voice in my head. I have other voices in my head too. Ones that say, I'm too good for this. I already know this. I don't have to do this. Well, I'm not interested in rock. I'm not interested in heavy metal, so I don't have to learn that. I'm not interested in 5th position, 6th position, 7th position. You notice there's not too many videos of those, right? I don't need to. Little Walter didn't do it. Right? I don't need to learn to read music. That's another. I'm confessing here. I'm telling you the truth, right? Let's put Joe back on. I don't need to watch Jason's videos. I don't need the slowest way is the fastest. I'm too good. Well, I play different. I'm a different style. I don't need to learn that. I want to play my own licks. I play by ear. I don't need this, right? Oh boy, it's a big, big 3-dimensional picture, right, y'all? It's a big thing. And you know, there ain't nothing you're going to tell yourself that I hadn't told myself too, because I've been at this a long time, 30 years. And 30 years of deliberate, focused, calculated practice. Some more deliberate and focused and calculated than others, right? But I've stopped. I remember. Let's go back to my point. I was talking about rehab, right? I was talking about drug addiction, right? We got onto that thing about addiction, right? One of the most dangerous jobs in the world for a drug addict is to work in treatment and work in helping treating other drug addicts. It can be even more dangerous than a musician or more dangerous than a bartender. Why? Well, because the idea is that when you're going to meetings with the clients, when you're talking to the clients about getting better, about recovery, right, that you're not working on your own. So if I sit here and I decide that my practice is talking about harmonica, or that my practice is that 90 minutes that I do on stage every night, well, that's not really practice. What did I say? That's playing. I need practice. So they go there, they go to the meetings with the clients, but they can't raise their hand because they're on their staff. They can't share, right? They're not going to their own meetings, but they think that, well, I went to a meeting today, but they didn't really go to a meeting because they were taking clients to the meeting and they couldn't participate in the meeting because they were being paid to be there and it might be unprofessional. So they need to go to their own meetings on the side, but none of them do because they're around it all day. Same thing with music. I'm around it all day. I don't want to practice. People go, hey, Jay, why don't you come sit in with us tonight? I say, I'm getting tired. I've been playing harmonica all day. I've been teaching major triads. I had to make a YouTube video, and I got my own gig tomorrow night. I would like to stay home and have a cigar and watch Game of Thrones with Kate. That's what I'd like to do, right? Well, that makes sense, and that's good, right? But it's dangerous because I still need to go out. I still need to see people. I still need to have fun. I still need to practice. It doesn't matter if I'm teaching all day. It doesn't matter if the harmonica is in my mouth. I need to do that count thing that I did for you right now. By the way, that counts as my 5 minutes of practice today. Where's yours? Love y'all. Goodbye. Stay tuned for the credits. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Free Fridays right here on YouTube. Subscribe today. Click the subscribe button for hundreds of free harmonica lessons. If you like what I'm putting down and you'd like to support the cause, go the extra mile, be sure to visit my Patreon page. Patreon patrons, thank you very much. You're making these lessons an absolute priority in my life. No matter how busy I get, a free lesson happens every Friday. For as low as $1 a month, that's 25 cents a lesson, you can become a Patreon patron. If you're doing a little better and you can donate more, that's great. Every time you become a Patreon patron, you're helping somebody else out there that doesn't have a credit card, that doesn't have $1 a month, to continue to get free harmonica instruction and much, much more. Remember, we got product reviews here on this channel. We do videos on addiction and bipolar disorder. We got blues stories. We got performance videos and everything right here on Jason Ricci's YouTube. Subscribe today. I'd like to thank Hohner Harmonicas, and I'd like to thank Blue Moon Harmonicas, making custom parts for any harmonica that you might have at home. Blue Moon has got you. The Lone Wolf Blues Company, pedals, amplifiers, microphones, you name it, much more. Right here out of Louisiana, the Lone Wolf Blues Company is bringing you the best in customer service for almost any kind of amplified blues harmonica needs that you may have. Speaking of amplifiers, Harp Gear amplifiers, check them out. The very best Harp Gear, right out of Ocala, Florida. I got a website, www.mooncat.org. Check me out on mooncat.org. I got tour dates happening all over the place. I'm going all over the country this year. Playing tour dates with J.J. Appleton, with Damon Fowler, with J.P. Soares, with my own band, with Joe Crown, all kinds of people. www.mooncat.org. T-shirts, lesson information, all of that. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. We do this every single Friday, and then every now and then I throw you some more stuff right here at Jason Ricci's YouTube. A Mooncat, love and appreciate all y'all. Thank you.